Hey everybody, today I'm going to be planting up some containers that I'm going to be putting at my own house. And today I'm starting with shade because I always put my shade ones off to the end and then I end up throwing them together and I get frustrated with myself for doing that. So today I put some thought into what I'm going to be doing in shade, and I want to do a mix of things. My containers, I don't do all matchy-matchy because I like to try some of the different plants that we're using. So every year I'm always switching it out and trying some of the different things. So I wanted to start first of all with some Coleus because the spot that I have on my back deck is underneath a maple tree. And I've definitely found that maple tree, by the time we get to July, it's really under a lot of shade. Whereas earlier in the season, like in May and June, it's not so shady. So I've learned I've got to pay attention to that. I really do love this Downtown Miami Magic one. It's just, I don't know, it's just really different from all the other ones, really unusual colors in it. So I was trying to think of some things that could go with it, and so much does, because at first I thought I might go with more of this apricot begonia, which I thought would look pretty good with that. But instead I decided to go with an impatient, in part because impatiens don't need a lot of fertilizer, and neither do the Coleus. They also can kind of go without a lot of water as well. So I thought these have very similar needs. I might as well put them together. And I thought this coral one would be an interesting match. I could also go with pink with this one. This one is the roller coaster Tangy Taffy. And so just thought I'd do something a little different. I was talking to Liam and I said, hey, do you think you want to, is this more of a year for pink or for this coral color? And he said, oh, coral all the way. So I'm good with that. And what I'm going to do here, I'm not putting very many plants in here because I tend to put too many. These sun patients tend to get quite large, so I have to keep that in mind. And also, I'm going to just put a little bit of creeping Jenny in here just to give it a little blast of color tucked in there as well. And so let me get these in here. In the past, I have overpacked these, and then, you know, it seems like every other year I go back and forth where at first I get really dedicated to, no, you're not going to overdo it, and I always do. This year, I'm going to try to keep myself a little more contained. So I'm going to do that. Now, this creeping Jenny, it's really filled out the pot a lot. So I think what I'm going to just do, one thing about you can do with creeping Jenny is you can just split it. Oops, this is actually very wet. I definitely got watered this afternoon. I'm just going to split it in half. That way I can have, it'll spread a little bit farther, a little bit more. I mean, I'm putting them pretty close together, but, and then wherever creeping Jenny touches, it does tend to root. So that also means that I could kind of train it to go outwards as well. And so let me just put this one in. Again, keeping it really simple. Okay, I'm a little short on soil, but that's gonna be okay. But so this is what my container looks like right now. Like I said, I put now in total 4 plants in here, and I'm going to keep it at that. The big thing with my shade containers, though, is sometimes we overwater them, and they kind of underperform if I overwater. So now for my next one, I'll go with this one right here in the center. I wanted to have something nice and bright as well. This is the one that I put in the darkest little corner under the tree, and I thought that this Coleus would really get the job done. This one, what I really like about it is it's got a little bit of variation in the leaves, and it's called Terrascape Lime and Shine. So I'm going to put this one in there, and I'm going to follow a very similar pattern to the last one, except this one, I'm putting another Lysimachia, which creeping Jenny is a type of Lysimachia, but I'm putting this one here. This one is called the Fancy Filler Sunburst, and it just has a nice dark leaf. And this is another one where I can train it to go outwards as well. So what I usually do is once I put it in, then I just take these things and I kind of put them in a couple different directions in my container. And you can already see some spots where there's roots already coming up. Wherever it touches the soil, this one's going to root as well. So it's a really nice one that way. You can also trim it and get those to root quite often as well. So it lets you get a little bit more, you know, plants like this, you can kind of get them to go a little farther. And these Selenia apricot begonias, they are fantastic. Like, they are one of the most, I don't know, easy to grow varieties that we have. They get nice and big, and they, I don't know, they grow early and fast as well. I definitely am going to have to add more soil to this just to kind of fill it in. But there we go. Oops, there's a little soil there. But man, and then with begonias, and you're gonna kind of see this, it is naturally kind of facing more that way. So I'm gonna make sure, because this side still looks good, but this is definitely the showier side. And these Selenia begonia flowers are gonna be quite a bit larger than what you see here. And so this is very, very simple, but I think that they're gonna work pretty well together. This begonia is gonna actually start to spread out, and it will kind of cascade a little bit over the edge. This is, Coleus is gonna just get nice and big and full. So I'm pretty excited about this one as well. I felt like I need something bright in here, and this next one is gonna be a little bit darker. So my main center on this one is going to be this Gardenmeister fuchsia, and this is more of an upright fuchsia. It gets quite large. If it has enough space, it can get like 3 or 4 feet tall. In this container, it probably won't get that big because it doesn't have as much space for roots. Oh, I wonder why it's so hard to get out. Come on. It's not root bound or anything, but it just was being a little challenging. So this one I'm going to push to the back because I have something very different that I'm going to put in front this time. I'm not looking for a traditional trailing plant this time. I wanted to use something that I thought would contrast really nice with the dark leaves of this fuchsia. The flowers on this, they're kind of a pink coral orange kind of color. So these all do have a little bit of that coral thing going on. I'm going to be putting in front of it another fuchsia, but this is the autumn nail. The foliage on this is so beautiful. The flower, I think, kind of looks similar to this one, but I'm not too worried about the flower on it. That's not why you grow this one. This one you grow for the foliage, but it's very, very horizontal growing. So like a lot of times you think of fuchsia and it's more cascading or kind of flows over the edge of the pot. Then there's these upright ones that grow kind of in a vase shape. This one is the one that just, I mean, you can just see all the new growth just goes straight out. And it is one that you want to make sure, if it's small, you want to make sure you're pinching it, because if you don't pinch it, it tends to just have, you know, like 1 or 2 little arms going out. And by pinching, I mean give it a little trim. Okay, so I'm not paying attention if I'm centered or not, but that's okay. And then I decided to go a little kind of wild with this and put some more begonias in here. This is a newish one called Eye Candy Sunset, and I love the dark leaves on it. These tend to get quite big. I think it's an Iconia variety, and Iconias also tend to have a little bit of a cascading habit. I really like them a lot, but I really like those dark leaves, and the flowers on these are nice and big on the Eye Candy. Ooh. So you can see begonias tend to have shallow roots. This one particularly shallow, considering the size of the plant. That's interesting. Usually they have a little bit more going on than that, but it looks good. Oh, I got to make sure too, again, on this one you can really see it has kind of a flat side. So I want to make sure that I have it facing the right direction. And again, I don't think I'm going to put anything more in here. Let's see if this one is a little deeper rooted. No, not really. Not really at all. Interesting. I would have expected it to have more roots. All of our other begonias do, but this one, not so much. Oop. And let's see, which way? I'm going to say this is, you know, this one kind of could grow in any direction. I'm thinking I got to keep an eye on this one because I might want to pinch it to encourage it to branch out a little bit more, but I don't know. There's a lot of new growth down at the bottom, so I think I'm going to just leave it. It should be fine. So there. Again, another really simple one. I'm only putting 4 plants in here. I know a lot of people would just pack this full. I have packed it full in the past, and I've regretted it. Now in the shade, again, you can usually put a little bit more in your containers, and it's okay. So now my front porch is a bit of a different story. It tends to get a lot of good morning sun. It gets sun all morning right up until even past noon. So in northern Michigan, that means I can grow pretty much any shade plant there because we don't have that intense sun. So you know, they don't end up getting burned out or anything like that. But I definitely wanted to use this as an opportunity to have some of these Rex begonias that I got. And this one here is called Jurassic Watermelon, and I absolutely love it. It's one of those, sorry, I got a little dirt on there. It has a scallop leaf, or an escargot leaf, a lot of people call it. Yeah, I think it's actually called escargot, where it twists around. Really, really beautiful. I'm deciding that with the begonias, I'm going to pack these a little bit fuller than I normally do, just because on my front porch, I mean, it just ends up, I don't have to worry about them too much. And begonias, I can let them dry out. So I'm going to put 2 of these in there. And then for my third thing, I decided I'm going to use just a plain geranium, and this is a Caldera salmon. And this is an example where this salmon color is really quite pink colored, and it does have a little darker bit in the eye. And this is one of those more single flowered ones. I like the single flower because it tends to drop its petals, then it drops these little stamen type things, and so it doesn't necessarily need much cleaning. I still will go in there and clean it at different times, but I just felt like the color of this, I think it does a pretty good job of matching with this. That's one of the advantages with that pink eye in there. This geranium matches with tons of different plants and different colors, so there's a lot less pressure to try to get a match. So I'm going to just cut off this spent one, and so you can see these tend to just kind of pop off once it dries off a little bit. That'll just fall off just like that one did, versus regular geraniums that a lot of times you have to kind of pick at a little bit more. And let's see, we're going to just get this other one in there. And sometimes these Rex begonias get actually quite large, so I might be pushing it by putting both of these in there, but that's what I want to do, so that's what I am going to do. I do need more soil in here, but that's no big deal. You guys know how to add more soil. So this one, again, I'm keeping these nice and simple. I think these are going to be quite beautiful on there. And then my next one, I'm going to use another one of these begonias, and this one here is the Jurassic Cherry Spike. I love how this one has different types of patterns on it. So it has this kind of beautiful coloring on there, but then it has a couple leaves that are very speckly. Love that about it. So let's just pop that in there. And then I was trying to decide what else to put with it. And I thought that it would be nice to have an impatient in there. Now, one of the problems though is that some of these impatiens get really, really big, and I have to be careful about that. And I thought this is the Sun Patient Compact Lavender Splash. Thought this one looked beautiful with it. This one here, meanwhile, is the Supersonic Lavender. Now, the Sun Patients prefer to have a little bit more sun, although in the location I have it in, it would get it 6 hours, so it would perform probably just fine. But the Supersonic tends to need less light, or prefers less light. Problem is that the Supersonic, I think, does get a little bigger, even bigger than this one here. So let's see the sizes. Well, 14 to 16, I think that's similar to what we'll see on this one. 16 to 30. Okay, so this one actually, this is the right choice because it stays a little bit smaller. So I'm going to tuck this one here. And then I just thought that it would be a little bit of fun to put in some of this Tradescantia. This is the new Pink Paradise. Now, one thing I noticed about the Pink Paradise is it grows much slower than the regular Tradescantia. So I got to keep that in mind. So I'm going to put 2 in here. One thing nice about Tradescantia too is it's very easy to propagate. So if you had them, when they get a little bit longer, you can cut off another piece. You could tuck it in that same pot just to get it to cover more area if you wanted to, or you can train it so that it'll, go in another direction, and then wherever it touches, it'll root as well. So I just thought this would be a nice addition. It's going to take a little while, but once this fills in and gets a little bit bigger, it's going to be really quite nice because it's going to just circle the entire pot, especially if we pay attention to training it along there. So I don't know, I think these are going to be quite nice together. So kind of gotten this heavy pink and kind of lavender theme going on here. So I figure with these kind of dark and moody colors for my center, well, I'm saying center, these could end up anywhere on the porch, but for this one here, I wanted to do something really bright. And so by bright, I thought, we're going to do another Sun Patient. This gets pretty big, but I am a big fan of this Compact Tropical Rose. Of all the variegated types of impatiens, the pink flower on these I really think is nice. When I see the white version and I see more of the orange or the coral type of colors, I don't know, they don't really stand out to me, but this pink with that variegation I think is just absolutely beautiful. And so when I was deciding what to put with it, I was kind of going back and forth with different ideas, but I did pick up this Erisine, I think it's called. And this is Erisine Red. It's not a perfect match, but I think it's going to be good. And this one, it says it can take full sun, full shade. So I thought this would be a good one to try. And I've never grown this one on my own, so might as well put it in there, see how it does. And I think it'll get plenty of light in that spot. So even if it's not a true shade lover, it'll be just fine. So I'm putting that one there. On the sides though, I've been kind of debating. I thought maybe I'll just tuck in a couple of these little, what is it? Splash Select hypoestes. Let's see which colors. I like the white a lot. So maybe I'll stick in a little bit of white. And we have these in a bigger size, but I thought I want to see how the itty bitty ones do, because I tend to always buy the, bigger ones, or I have the bigger ones. I'm going to go with some pink in there too. And they tend to do well for me on that spot in the porch. So I think it's a good idea to tuck them in here. And the thing about this is there's like 2 shades of pink. There's a reddish one. There's a whitish one. I'm going to alternate these so that on this one, it's the whites in the back. And then for my pink, so this is a little bit of a darker pink. I don't know. I can't tell. Let's see. And with these mixes, you don't necessarily know what you're going to get as far as colors, or you can kind of just look and see. Now, if I look, like this cell has a couple colors in it, I can grow them all together like that, or I could pick out a color if I didn't really like it in there and kind of let it go. So I don't know, I think these are going to be fun. Nice on the porch there. We put them just along the ledge on the porch. Underneath that, we have some arborescent hydrangeas. And then underneath that, I think this year I'm probably going to go with some really cool Coleus. I have some really big marigolds that I think I want to put below that as well. The orange might be a little clashy, so I might just go with yellow down there. And then usually behind there, more in the porch area, kind of where our little chairs are and stuff like that, I usually have some Coleus growing. So my niece and I had started some from seed, and there's a couple of varieties that I want to just put in pots and have them back there. And we usually put like maybe a begonia or something in the back too, just kind of on the table or something like that. So I think these are really nice. I think they're kind of soothing. Like this is like a nice cool colored pink. This is definitely more of a kind of warmer type of pink. That salmon actually brings it up kind of in warmth. Meanwhile, the lavender definitely kind of, and then this is just intensity all the way. So, hey, I hope you guys got maybe some ideas of what you want to put in your containers. And shade is always tricky. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. I'll keep you guys posted on how these do.